New season 34. What is the God Pass skin? What's the new festival? Who are the returning Battle Pass skins that you can get for gyms? What are the new hero balances? Hey, now in this video, I'm going to be going over all of that for the game King God Castle patch 4.1.2, new season 34. Mr. Croco himself. We're going to be going over the, the juicy content first, and then we're going to be going over the rest of it. So right now, as you can see, now it is Agath. Now this is a very interesting. Well, I mean, her and then the oldest heroes in the game right now that need battle pass skins, a lot of them already have it, but it's Agath and then like Rahak, right? And I would not be surprised if they picked a hero that is a little newer for the next battle pass skin, but definitely the newest one would probably be Rahak to be next. But Agath is definitely like, oh, when you hear like, oh, they're gonna do a battle pass skin for Agath, is giving me like flash PTSD from Daniel's battle pass release, because that was probably the weakest battle pass, unfortunately, Daniel. But this skin, we have to talk about it. This key art is amazing. They did her design like insane. Like it's amazing. Just look at this. Just whoop. I'm an Agath fan, dude. Like this skin, this is leaps and bounds over what Daniel got. And unfortunately, Daniel's skills aren't exactly the most like flashy, right? So at least Agath has like this aura thing that they can like flex on, right? Animations. I'm curious if her awakening abilities effects change. I imagine not, because like, awakening one is just like a healing effect, and the other one you don't really see, right? So I'm very curious if that even changes, but we're gonna have to see that in game, but you can't see that here. But this, let me know what you guys think about this skin. This skin is, I think it's, I'm an Agath fan. If you're not an Agath fan, I get it, but this is 10 out of 10 for me. Easily her best skin. Her effects look nice. It is definitely not like I was worried that it's Daniel level. It is not Daniel level, boys. Now this is a new festival, completely new theme, completely new skin line. It is pretty exciting. We're going to be going over that next. So is the flying dragon. This is completely new. It is not a returning festival. This is completely new, and it is very interesting. So they are separating solo raid. Have you guys been doing raid? Have you guys had enough yet? Have you guys had enough raid? But if you guys notice, if you guys have been playing for the past couple of days, they did change the UI. So now this is in the main menu right next to the Tower Trials mode, right? So you can access this. And it is changed from 10 days to opening day to 9 days. So basically it is actually, from what they are saying, it is truly solo raid. They are actually removing like it's going to be personal content, as I said. They're going to be removing like all of the alliance based things, and now they're like doubling up on the token like reward. They're doubling up on the rewards and things like that. And from what I understand, you can also get your gold bonus based on personal performance, right? So you can also get gold. This is a nice difference of change, right? It is a nice difference. If you want to do it, you can, and all of that. Do they say anything about the leaderboards? I think is there going to be a leaderboard? I imagine there's going to be a leaderboards, but it doesn't really mean as much. It's not alliance reliant is the whole idea. To be honest, my want is to actually don't call it solo raid. I feel like they should totally strip the name. Don't even put raid in it, okay? Like, don't put solo raid. Just name it like it's just something else, completely different, okay? Because having solo raid and alliance raid is very confusing in itself for like this is geared towards players who aren't really raid savvy. So just differentiate it by calling it something different. I really don't like this solo, and plus it's like attached to this very controversial like time when they try to change it, and it's like there's a lot of negative connotations, and just name it something else. Name it something else. And season 34 balancing, this is where I am super. These are freaking insane, dude. So Armis, he has been like, okay, so he was super OP they toned him down a little bit. And then now in the meta, right now in the meta, like with things getting released into it, like, you know, Unity, Relic, and all of this is a lot of meaty characters, a lot of shields, and like these people who are usually DPS, if they don't have enough damage, they're just like smacking a wall, right? And nothing's happening, right? So they are buffing his attack. I'm not sure what it was before, but this is a lot of attack for Armis, and then more spell power. That means that this is strictly helping with his Awakening 1, right? Not rapid, you know, not that one. It's the first one, and this you will see this more played in Arena, obviously. In the, you know, it's just Armis has been a terror in Arena in the past. This might put him back into the meta, but I'm going to say that it won't. Maybe if the Grand Arena buff favors him, maybe, but right now with what kind of heroes, like the heroes that are able to do the things that they do, it is so easy to get into the backline now. Because in the past, you have to understand that in the past there weren't that many heroes that can just go into your backline, right? So now you have TP Relic that can send 3 people instead of 1. You have Behemoth, right? And then you have Kirdan, and then you have, you know, freaking Ian, right? Like you have all of these heroes that can easily get back there, right? And can you survive? That is the question. And the answer is usually no. And it's like, oh, if you can't survive, what do you do, right? Can you do enough damage to kill them? And right now you can't. Because of the Grand Arena buff. Because the Grand Arena buff gives you a lot of health, and you stack shields, and then you have CC, and then you have Haydock, right? And it's just really hard right now for straight DP. That's why Jupiter isn't really great right now. And a lot of people, you know, are like, oh, Jupiter can do XYZ. Why isn't she S tier? You know, that is not just like all because a hero can do damage and do, you know, invasion, can do expedition, doesn't mean they're simply S tier, boys. There are a lot of factors that, you know, I personally consider in power rankings. But Armis, this is crazy, dude. Like, this change is amazing. Okay, let me read it. Armis is the longest range in King of Castle, yes, but very low attack speed, yes. They buffed this, by the way, his attack speed. Without changing these characteristics of Armis, we are in the past. I have to clarify. In the past, you know, he attacked very slow, and then they actually buffed it at some point. Without changing his characteristics of Armis, we're adjusting his attack and spell power upwards so that you can use Armis again. This is a lot of attack, and this is a lot of spell power. So, I mean, if you guys have been following my New to Pro series, you know, like, he's gonna feel even better. And he should be better in Arena, but right now it is not his meta, dude. It is just with everything else that you can do in Arena right now. I mean, I tell you right now, he is not a King God comp, right? I'd be surprised. I'd be freaking surprised. Joel, man, this guy is getting this. I don't remember how many buffs he's got. He's gotten so many buffs. It's more 43% spell power, dude. Like, at some point, Joel is going to be insane. Like, absolutely insane. If the Grand Arena buff actually favors Joel, I see a world where you can't stop him. You can't. I'm sorry, you can't. I really I want to see the Grand Arena buff that favors Joel, and I want to I personally want to run that cop, because it's gonna get to the point where he's like way too overtuned. So Joel has various advantages when using his skills, such as recovery. He has a lot of stuff going on. Like, he has, you know, you can heal. He has immunity, right? CC immunity. He has AoE, a lot of AoE. And yeah, his fatal disadvantage is when he becomes extremely weakened when transformation state ends. Yeah, so when he's not in his super omega mode, he is pretty garbage, right? So by maintaining the structure of Joel, we maintain the current state of not using the skill, but increase the spell power to provide sufficient advantage while using his skill duration. Yeah, like the whole issue with Joel is that, like, you have to succeed when his power state lasts. When your power state does not last, there are very few situations where, like, Joel, you know, you do his state, right, and then he finishes. Usually the enemy is dead, or you're dead. Usually you usually don't ever get a second cast, and if you do, then sometimes you do, but more than likely you're trying to kill the team before that ends. That is usually the case. But yeah, unless you get like a bunch of percent mana. But Jupiter, increased spell power, yes. That's what she like I said, same issue with Armas. Okay, a lot of people are like, Jupiter, why did you put her whatever tier that I put her, like maybe did I put her C tier, B tier, I don't know, but pretty low. And there's a reason, and guess what, they buffed her. Why would you buff an OP hero? We don't want to talk about Ian here, okay? But Jupiter needed this because there are so many things in the game right now that are so beefy that DPS heroes that are supposed to do really good DPS, they don't do enough DPS to bypass the shields or the health, right? And it's just there's a lot of CC in the game. So yeah, more spell power. She is also on the cusp of being too good, like too much damage, right? You put some, it's just, Jupiter still shows decent performance, which she faces a similar number of enemies with the number of skill hits. However, her performance is still not so they want her to be overwhelming, even in certain circumstances, and she has a gap with other heroes in every situation, so we adjust her spell power. Yes. Yeah, she has a when it's Jupiter meta, she'll do way too much damage, right? So yeah, I think this is a good change, Jupiter is still good, guys. Okay, she can still do stuff. All right, same thoughts as Armas, basically. Behemoth. Oh, Behemoth, dude. This, I told you, I mentioned this in a previous video. So yeah, so the Grand Arena buff favors Behemoth, and they also, by the way, they are increasing his spell power by 40%, dude. The effect of Behemoth's skill, moving ally in front of the back, knocking back the enemies, is well balanced. Is it well balanced? Is it though? Is it well balanced? I don't know if I would say well balanced, but its value is considered to be little less than that of other heroes. So we adjust his spell power that affects the damage of his skill and shield provided by the potential. Yeah, so he will, not only will he do damage, he also gets a shield based on that damage, right? So he's gonna get more shield. And guess what? He had next season, Grand Arena buff favors, we're gonna get to it, but Grand Arena buff favors him in both aspects. So he also gets 30% extra damage, 30% less damage, and on top of that, he's a hero that is that will allow you to get more team-wide, more health, right? And Behemoth's gang is alive, boys. Like, Behemoth is going to wreck some fools. So I would not be surprised. The other person, we'll get to it, but the other one that is is gonna get, Kierdan, okay, is also a Kierdan meta for sure. And yeah, this is insane. Now I did not expect them to buff them. I do agree that his spell power needed to be buffed, but that is a lot of spell power, and I'm a Behemoth fan, so I'm happy. All right, next one, Kane. This has got to be the biggest change out of this whole patch, in my opinion, and this is probably the biggest change Kane has ever seen in the history of Kane. So they changed his level 8 potential ability to be able to generate silver. So before, it's a potential ability, by the way. It is not an awakening. So you can he has a unique effect where he can generate silver, right, with his skill. But now they are completely removing it. So if you liked, using him to generate silver and get omega levels of silver, you cannot do that anymore. And to be honest, for me personally, when I look at Kane, his value is arena and being able to use them to farm items specifically. Not really the silver. The silver is nice, but I want the items, even in raid, right? So, and they are, buffing that aspect later. We'll get into it, but yeah, they're changing his level 8 potential ability. You cannot obtain silver anymore. Instead, the first time he uses his skill, you deal 50% more damage. So, meaning that his first skill will do way more impact. You have a bigger chance to one-shot that first enemy, to be able to do a chain effect to get
more items in this case, right? So let's talk about his Awakening Extort changes. Awakening 1, this is the one that generates tier items, right? So they're changing this to the wording. It is really important, by the way. Upon defeating his targets with his skill, he obtains a tier 1 equipment with a 50% chance from each target. Now, if you use Kane, his skill, when you kill something, he will do splash damage, to the remaining target. And in the past, the splash damage, the people who are killed by the splash, it doesn't generate any of this tier item stuff. So they are actually changing this upon defeating his targets. And this is just me assuming, right? So based on this wording, this is how I interpret it. So when he does his skill, his targets is the target that he's doing his skill on, and anybody that's caught in that splash damage, right? And he obtains a tier 1 equipment with a 50% chance. This is nothing new. This is the old Awakening stuff from each target. Now, from each target is the very key words here, from each target from his skill that's killed. And this is huge. This is huge. This means that he can do one skill or multiple, and everyone who dies within that skill will get a target instead of just that one target in the center getting that chance to generate something, right? That's what it was in the past. Now it is each target from that skill, and it is crazy good. I assume that is how it's gonna work, and this change overall is amazing personally. So Kane has a skill that deals strong enemies to, some missing health. As a result, damage of his first skill, it drops significantly, which makes it difficult for Kane to show good performance. To compensate, we are replacing the level 8 attribute that provides silver upon killing a target with more effective attribute. Additionally, we are removing the penalty of extort to gain equipment instead of level 8 talents. So I think this is a huge change. I imagine it is how I think it works. I mean, it's and with this, it allows you to generate that faster and better, right? You can nuke that first enemy way much faster and getting that, right? And a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, so can I use him to farm items in Great Rift to get that dang 30-40k achievement? And I'm gonna say maybe. I'm gonna say maybe. All right, Armor Unity, this is Relic balancing, okay? So Armor Unity, very strong, very meta in Season 33. Right now, the Season 33 hasn't ended yet as of this video posting, but Armor Unity is a problem right now, and there's a lot of reasons why, so you grant shields and through adjacent heroes and things like that. They are buffing. I'm not gonna look at the other numbers. They are nerfing 20 instead of 25%. It is 20%. So it is a nerf. I mean, you're not gonna feel it too much, in my opinion, because usually when you run Armor Unity, you're gonna run Sacrifice a Dagger, or Dagger Sacrifice, or whatever, and you're gonna be running Banner, right? And I mean 5% per is like okay, Armor Unity introduces a new type of build that utilizes multiple heroes relatively evenly, which was previously difficult to see in kinggodcastle. However, this strategy is too powerful that it creates an environment where it is difficult for other strategies to appear. So we hope that by slightly lowering the armor value of Armor Unity, various strategies will be able to be used. To be honest, I think it's more than just Armor Unity. I think Armor Unity is a problem, but there are counters to it, in my opinion. There are counters, but it is a very solid option right now. The reason why, okay, let me explain why this is so OP. It's because of the Grand Arena buff that gives you max HP, right? And it just nerf that. But it is what it is. I don't think the nerf is crazy, so I think if you were gonna nerf it, then you nerf it a little bit, right? They touch it a little bit, I don't think it's crazy. I think the Relic is still really good. Something new, Blessing, Agath Mana, if you care about that, and the new skin, my boy Zhao Yun, Dragon Guardian. Ooh, so this is a basic skin, so I like the effect. He has like a helmet. I like it. I mean, it's a basic skin. It's a basic skin. And at least he has like an effect when he does his thing. Man, can we get a rework on his battle pass? That skin is so old. Can I get a rework on it? Please. A bunch of bug fixes. So if you guys have been playing, you guys remember when they did the dev letter, when they were introducing god skins, right? Like the male god skin, right? Before that, they actually teased a Chang'e god skin and a dragon theme, like it's very similar to this. Now, this is a dragon festival, so I'm assuming next month, they are going to release Chang'e's dragon god skin. So just look out for that one. October is around the time when they were teasing whether the second round of god skin would be released. So keep a lookout on that one. And I believe Chang'e's Dragon Guardian skin will come out this season, and then next season it will be her god. It just makes sense. It makes sense, man. It makes sense. It's been in the works. They've teased it, so it is coming out soon at least. So there is still a little bit more left. Let's look at it. So Flying Dragon Festival. You guys know all about the festival. You guys know it. So the returning battle pass skin, Bommy. This is one of my favorite freaking battle pass skins. Look at this skin, dude. Oh. One Piece anybody. One Piece anybody. But yeah, Queen Lily, one of my favorites. I'm not the biggest Lily fan, but I do like this Lily skin quite a bit. Yeah, so those are the two battle pass skins that are coming back for gems. So if you want them, get it. And then you have the Dragon Guardian Zhao Yun skin that I talked about, then Blue Flame Draco, and then these two that we just talked about. If you guys want to see any of the skin previews, I have them on my channel. I'll link them down below in a skin playlist. I have all the skins out and released. So if you guys are wondering, oh, what does a skin look like? What does it sound like? I got you. And I'll be releasing the new skin previews in the upcoming days. And then you have the new count. Man, let's talk about this season calendar, man. It is so solo raid, and then you have this 4-day gap, and then you have tower trials and I personally, I'm not gonna say hate, okay? The hate is a strong word. I personally dislike the oversaturation of competitive modes, and it's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. You guys had enough raid yet? Raid? Okay, so this is the battle pass. Yeah. Solo raid is gonna be Blacksmith Mage. Cool. Alliance raid is gonna be Blood Giant Greed Hero. Oh, Hero Boss. Nice. And then Arena. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, this is what. Let me go down. Okay, yeah. Arena. So Arena, Tenacity, and I believe this is North. Okay, it is. So the heroes, the biggest heroes that stick out in Grand Arena right now is next season is going to be Behemoth and Kirdan, because Behemoth, he is a Tenacity hero and he's a North hero, and Kirdan is a Tenacity hero and a North hero. So it is kind of I would not be surprised if you will see both of them on a team, and I mean that's what I'm gonna try to do. But it's just crazy. It is crazy. And obviously Agath is a Tenacity hero as well, so I mean, but you're not going to be using her for like a damage, right? But you're definitely going to be, she's definitely going to be a freaking meat shield, because this just crazy. It's crazy. So for this season, season 33, Kirdan was actually a meta pick, but he didn't have this, this 30%. He wasn't a shadow hero, okay? So it didn't even benefit him, and he was a meta pick. So now it benefits him. He's definitely going to be one of the meta picks for sure. So yeah. Less Kathy for sure. Thank you. Less Kathy for sure. Anyways, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the festival, all of these buff changes, this Dragon Guardian skin. Are you looking forward to the potential Dragon God skin of Chang'e? Would you get it if it was Chang'e? And what do you think about the Zaga skin? Are you getting it? Because I love this skin. Personally, I love it. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, because Agath is one of the probably the least popular heroes in King God Castle. But as always, thumbs if you like it, subs if you love it, and see you next one, boys. Later.